So you hear the buzz about SpaceX finally going public? Possibly the biggest IPO in history, maybe valued at a whopping $1.5 trillion. If Charlie Munger walked into your room right now, he'd probably raise an eyebrow and say, "Space may be the final frontier. But you don't make money by staring at rockets. You make money by understanding who gets paid when those rockets fly." That's classic Charlie. He didn't buy ideas. He bought businesses with real customers, real cash flow, and real prospects. So let's talk about the types of stocks that are likely to benefit from a SpaceX IPO. Not because of hype, but because the economy around space is becoming real infrastructure. First up, satellite and communications infrastructure. A great example is EchoStar. They own valuable spectrum licenses and even hold private SpaceX shares through past deals. This means EchoStar's valuation is directly linked to how the market prices SpaceX. If SpaceX goes public at a huge valuation, investors will likely revalue EchoStar higher. Next, let's look at the rocket launch and aerospace support sector, with a company like Rocket Lab. They might not be as big as SpaceX, but they are doing the work today, launching small satellites and developing larger vehicles. Munger would appreciate this, saying, "Companies that help build a bigger industry don't have to be the biggest player. They just have to be profitable pieces of the machine." Then there are space communications and network players, like AST SpaceMobile. They're building networks that could complement technologies like SpaceX's Starlink. A big IPO changes psychology. When investors see SpaceX trading publicly, they might think, maybe this space thing has legs after all. Charlie might chuckle and say, when one horse wins the Derby, all the breeders want a piece of the next colt. If you're not into picking individual stocks, consider broad space sector plays. A SpaceX IPO doesn't just light one rocket. It lights up the entire ecosystem. ETFs like the Procure Space ETF hold a basket of aerospace and infrastructure stocks, offering a diversified way to ride the industry's growth. Charlie would appreciate this approach. Finally, don't forget the defense and aerospace giants with space divisions like L3Harris Technologies. These companies supply critical systems and benefit from large government contracts and stable cash flow. Munger would like them because they generate real, predictable revenue and aren't dependent on hype cycles. Now, don't go thinking every space stock is headed to the moon. Charlie would warn you, just because someone builds a rocket doesn't mean every widget that says space on it will pay dividends. Rockets attract attention, but long-term returns come from durable economics. Real customers and contracts that pay today, not promises that pay someday. So as Charlie might say, when people start talking about going to Mars before reading the earnings report, that's when I tighten my belt and make sure my own boat floats. Thanks for watching.